cool and live. Well, hello everybody. It's Caleb Leverett. Welcome to the most poorly produced podcast in the world, brought to you by the parking lot of Churches. Or I'm not sorry, not Churches. Popeye's Chicken. Also brought to you by Dwayne Robert at Dad's Surviving Divorce at DSD. Who, if it was not for Dwayne, I would not be able to be doing this, having this little thing that I call a podcaster. New subscriber. Hi, hello. Hi, Adrian. Hi, everybody. Has everybody been sweating today as much as I have been sweating today? All day today, as I've done all week, been moving in, and my shop is like, I don't know, 100, 150 feet from my little trailer house that I'm renting. And I wake up in the morning, right at least by sunup. And I'm convinced if you're not born and raised in East Texas, you'll probably never get used to it, because I can't get used to this heat. I can stand the heat, it's the humidity. I cannot stand the humidity. So I'll get to work about 3 or 4 hours till, I don't know, probably 11 a.m. and then I'm done. I'm soaked. I've got all these white t-shirts, and within an hour of just walking back and forth, it's wet. It's just sopping wet. So finally, tomorrow is my, hopefully, knock on wood, my big sale. I'm gonna get rid of lots and lots of pounds, maybe even tons of things that I'm tired of hauling around. But yeah, the heat, oh my goodness. I haven't weighed myself in a while, but I'm sure I've lost weight because it's so hot. I just drip in sweat. And I've noticed one thing. I've never lived in a trailer house. I think I did when I was, I know I did when I was a little bitty kid. I've stayed in them, like, you know, people's lake houses and stuff. What I've always loved about trailer houses is the floor vents. And now that I'm living in one, I truly have an appreciation for the floor vent, because I get so hot even just wearing shorts, and I wear cargo shorts, and I know that is the dorkiest dad thing ever. But I wear cargo shorts. It's my thing. I finished raising my kids in either San Antonio or here, and little kids always lose things or need things, and I've got all these pockets, I can just cram them down in there, and bam, it works for me. So yeah, these floor vents, and I walk in and I'm sweating hot, and you walk over that cold air, and not to sound gross, but oh my gosh, I think if I ever become rich, like from winning the lottery, or let's say I get stupid YouTube rich all of a sudden, or I marry some inheritance baby, I think I'm always going to live in a trailer house, maybe a triple or double, triple wide. And I know that's trashy, but oh well. Anyways, so yeah, I'm getting moved in and getting ready for the big sale tomorrow. And like, this whole ordeal has changed my sleep schedule. Wake up at 6, sun up, work 3 or 4 hours. Here lately, I've been watching Harry Potter, coming in, watching Harry Potter, and yes, I have not forgotten about Harry Potter. I'm still going to do a Harry Potter thing. I'll be brutally honest with everybody. I'm a little nervous. Yes, let's get to 300,000. That's something else I was going to talk about. How exciting! We're about to roll over 300,000 subscribers. I'm going to get to the Harry Potter thing, but I'm just a little nervous, because if you add up how much I love Harry Potter, I get an A+. And if you rank what my knowledge is compared to most real Harry Potter junkies, I might get a D- at best. Like I said, I've intentionally not finished the last 2 books because I'm waiting for just the right time. And it's it's probably the last thing I can ever do and feel that childlike giddiness since I'm old now. But anyway, back to my sleep schedule. I come in, I watch Harry Potter, and I'll be quite honest with you, I've never been a nap person, but I take these like 2 to 4 hour naps in the dead heat of the day, and I thoroughly enjoy my air conditioning. And then I wake up, and do I make money through YouTube? Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. This is now my career. Now, was that Drake? Drake December? Yes. This is now my career. So I take these naps, and then I either come do a little podcast, again, as Drake asked. This is my career now. This is what I do. I talk to people. I try to let them vent or relate or get things off their chest of people who have also been in the family court system. I try to add a little bit of either dad comedy or humor or dry humor or but one thing that I no longer will talk about is politics. Oh my gosh. I've been one of those guys that I talked about politics all the time, online with friends, and I'm so burned out, so incredibly burned out. I'm sick of politics. I mean, yeah, this is the Ron Paul evolution. If you don't know, Ron Paul ran for president in 2012. He's 4 or 5 time congressman. Yeah, I was in it that deep, and now I'm just burned out. And I'm sick of it. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Every now and then with Ken Paxton, yeah, only because it still directly affects me. Other than that, I'm just not going to talk about it. Oh, DSD, there he is, chipping in. Thanks so much. If any of you are gracious enough to chip in, thank you. And speaking of, that reminds me, I got a couple of emails, and they were touching. And they're totally different. In fact, I'm just going to read those aloud. I did ask them, and speaking of, yes, I did ask these 2 people if it was okay if I read their emails with their names or whatever, and they said, yeah, great, that'd be cool. In the future, if you send me something, and I used to say, well, put in the heading, podcast or something like that, or it's okay to, people forget, and sometimes I don't know I'm just going to assume, unless it's like really, really personal, if you're just telling me your story, I'm just going to assume you want me, or you give me permission to put it on the air. If you really don't want me to do it, then just say, this is between us. Please don't say it. So anyway, let me get my little pooter open here. Hope I didn't. Oh man, I went offline. Maybe it'll still be on the email. Yeah. Okay. Speaking of my career and now that I make money doing this, I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you are as broke as I am, or particularly as broke as I used to be, do not send me money. You keep your money. You feed yourself first. You pay your rent first. You buy your baby formula first before you even remotely think about sending me anything. It's kind of like I use this an example, like when you get on an airplane and you see the flight attendant up there and she's telling you put the mask on, and they always tell you put the mask on yourself first before you put it on the child. And the reason is that child is a child. You love that child, and of course everybody wants to take care of their child first, but the child can't really do much as far as saving people, but the adult can. So you put your mask on the adult first so you can breathe, so you can have cognitive function, then you save the child. Same thing here. If you are broke, I don't care how big and beautiful your heart is, you just want to send me $1. Do not send me $1. You keep that $1. The only people that I'm asking for chip-ins, donations, super chat things, uh, my various links in the description where you can chip in, is if you're established. If you can lose $10 and not make a difference, not hurt you at all, those are the people. If you like what I do, those are the people that I'm asking. Back in the day, I had a little business with 3 or 4 employees, and I could lose $100 bill. I could lose $1,000, and it was like no big deal. And I was able at the time to give to people. Now, you can help me more if you're that type of broke and you're coming to me by just sharing my podcasts or uh, sending them to your friends or commenting here. I'm going to get your comments, I promise, but I want to get through these emails. All right, this first one is from a guy out of Austin named Jody. Hey bud, Jody here in Austin, 33 years old, single, no kids, with a girlfriend of 4 years. I'm a hard worker, Christian, moderate libertarian, and also hooked on these goddamn pain meds, just to give you a little background info. But anyhow, I saw your Parker video first. Thought your ex-old lady was being halfway rationally honest, but I only skipped through it real fast and saw about 10 minutes of it. Parker seems like a solid kid. If I'm being totally honest, I wasn't sure I agreed with your actions, parentheses or inactions, in that video, but then again, I don't know the backstory, but I still don't. But I saw your eviction video just now, and it tugged at my heart a little bit. It made me think of my pops. He's about to turn 60, and about 10 years ago, he was in the same boat as you. And I kind of felt sorry for him, but I was also a little bit embarrassed too, so I kind of just ignored the whole situation. I hope that's not what's going on with you and yours. If it is, just so you'll be fine. Just know you'll be fine. My pops is happily remarried and doing fine now. I kind of thought you were an asshole at the beginning, and you could just be pulling the wool over my eyes, but I'm pretty sure you're genuine and mean well for the most part. I don't have much, but I can send you 15 or 20 in PayPal or Cash App. I'm going to go ahead and do it when I hit send on this email right now. I'll be praying for you, bud. Don't give up. Jody H. Rockwell the 4th, Esquire. First of all, I appreciate his honesty, like a lot. Don't sugarcoat it, what you think of me. If you think I'm a great guy, great, fine. If you think I'm shady, just say it. Just spit it out. There's no sense in beating around the bush. But I appreciate his honesty, and the topic he brought up was when his old man, several years ago, 10 years ago, went broke, went through some financial struggles, and he was a little bit embarrassed to talk about it. I've been there. When I first went broke, it was partially, I guess, because how I was raised, it's a little humiliating. But I finally got to the point where I just didn't care. I just don't care what anyone thinks about me. I've had big fancy trucks and big fancy houses, and I've lost it all. I've gone to jail for my kids. I got my first eviction, as you know, if you're still watching this. I got my first eviction back, last week. So weird how that turned out. I get the eviction notice because I can't afford the current rent. A day or two later, Dwayne, over Dad's surviving divorce, calls me up, recommends I do these podcasts, and then it shows me how to do it, gets everything set up, and all of a sudden, bam, my channel's going through the roof. Thank goodness I'm about to hit 300,000 subs. That'd be really cool if we hit 300,000 while I'm live right now. That'd be really cool. But back to what Jody was saying, it's a little embarrassing to be at that age. And it is. I'm not going to lie. It is. And I've got several reasons I keep my channel up, but partially, A, it's my career, and B, I've worked my ass off my whole life. I had things at one time. Sure, I've made bad decisions. I've bought some stupid things I shouldn't have bought. I mean, I wouldn't be having this giant garage sale had I not bought all this crap. But, you know, I'm not a complete moron. I I understand finances, and that's why I tell people, if you're broke, don't send me money. If I'm broke, I'm not going to send you money. I can't. I'll do what I can to help. I'll call my friends up or whatever. But I encourage people, don't be so prideful if you're just about to go under, to reach out and ask for help, no matter what age you are. There's nothing wrong with it. And if someone looks down upon you simply because of how much money you have or don't have, or you lost, what does that say about their character? Should you even care what they think about you? I've lost all kinds of friends during this whole ordeal. You know what? I've gained a lot more too. Well, I'll get to that later. But anyways, I appreciate his honesty. You know, telling me at first, you kind of seemed like an asshole at first. I wasn't sure, but now you're talking about being broke, and yeah, I'm broke. I'm not as broke as I was. It's just funny how I get this eviction and the oil field goes away. There's no work to be had, and then Dwayne, bless his heart, shows me how to do this. My channel starts taking off, and here I am, not setting any kind of records or anything, but I'm having fun. I'd like to think I'm helping people. I get emails telling me they are, that my channel helps people. So anyway, and then I got another email here from, I don't know if it's going to pull up since I'm not online. Yep. And her name is Daenery, I think, if I'm saying that right. We've been Facebook friends for several years. And she's just always been a sweetheart. I didn't keep up with her story completely, but she finally wrote me this email. And this is a heartstring tugger here. And I asked her if I could read it, and she said yeah. So I'm just going to read her email, because it damn near brought a tear to my eye, because well, I'm just going to get it and then I'll give my commentary. Apparently she goes by Day. Her full name is Daenery. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but the email says Day. Okay, we had already talked just a little bit, and she was complimenting me or whatever, and I said thank you. And she said, it will definitely sort itself out with time. I'm watching your podcast from June 11th of 2020, and the message from Willie is so heartbreaking. Willie was that little 11-year-old kid that sent me, I read his email here sometime last week. Where am I at? Your message from Willie is so heartbreaking. I kind of had the same problem growing up. My stepdad was a jerk most days. I believe I am actually allergic to seafood. Every time I eat it, I get sick. I throw up and I'm nauseous for about 2 to 3 days afterwards. He knew this happened, but he didn't care. He would force me and my sisters to eat any seafood cooked for dinner. We grew up with the, quote, eat what I made or go to bed hungry. I never had an issue with this except for the nights when we had seafood. He'd cook seafood 3 to 4 nights a week. He always said my biological dad didn't want anything to do with me and would trash talk my dad all the time. I started believing him because as a kid, I never heard from my dad. I never saw him, never received any birthday cards or letters. It wasn't until I was 12 or 13 years old that I decided to look him up and ask him for myself. I found him on MySpace. That's really cool. I found him on MySpace, and he had his phone number on there with a message that stated, quote, Daenery and Kiana, if you happen to come across this is my phone number, and she gives the phone number. Please feel free to call me or text me anytime, day or night. I love you and miss you very much. End quote. I was in shock when I read that. But I wrote down his phone number on my hand, and I asked my mom if I could borrow her phone to call a friend because I knew if I asked her if I could call my dad, she would say no. I called him, and I remember this like it happened yesterday. Quote, or parentheses, I am now 26 years old. He burst into tears. He burst into tears and was crying so much he asked if he could call me back in a couple of minutes after composing himself so he could actually speak. Oops. He was nothing like the person my stepdad and mom made him out to be. He was nice, down to earth, very smart. And all those years, he was made out to be this monster that didn't want anything to do with me. I explained to him that I had to lie to my mom in order to call him, and I told him I was going to have to delete the record of the call. Smart kid, 12 or 13. Delete the record of the call. So he wouldn't call her phone and give away the fact that I was in contact with him. If she knew, she would never let me borrow her phone again. So he sent me a phone so that I could call and text him anytime I wanted to. I was in contact with him for about 6 months before my mom found out. I'm not sure how she found out, but when she did find out, she tried to take my phone away from me. So I left. I slept at a park in a tunnel slide for 2 nights trying to prove a point to her. Point being, I will not let you take my dad from me again. She stopped talking to me after that. It became a very toxic situation. After a couple of years, I went to my dad's for what was going to be just a summer vacation, but after a week of being there, I asked my dad if I could live with him. And of course, he was overjoyed and said yes. I called to talk to my mom about it, but she hung up on me. Sent a text saying I was not allowed to get anything from her house. My dad had to buy me more clothes and everything. He wasn't exactly rolling in dough, so I felt bad about him having to do that, but he never complained. Long story short, I was 15 when I moved in with my dad, and my mom didn't talk to me until I was 17. She came to my high school graduation. Everything with my dad was great. I learned a lot from the situation I went through, and I wanted to do better for my kids than my mom did for me. A divorce was not part of my plan, of course, but it happened. The father of my firstborn and I split up and eventually got a divorce, but we were best friends still. We got along really, really well, and even took our daughter to do things together. No fighting, and anytime he wanted her, he could pick her up, or I would drop her off if he wasn't able to pick her up. We were very close. The day he died, it broke me. A part of me died with him. I still love him. We just didn't work out. The one thing my daughter will always have are the good memories of him and all of us doing things together. Most importantly, she will remember her mom and dad being best friends and never fighting over her. I hate that you went through that, what you did with your separation and custody battles. I hate it especially for the kids. But hopefully they take from and learn from the situation so they hopefully don't end up in the same situation that you did. Talks amongst yourselves. For you old people my age, that was from Saturday Night Live. What was her name? Church Lady? No, it wasn't Church Lady. It was... Anyway, it's a Saturday Night Live quote. meaning she's choking up. That is just a beautiful story to me. I ain't gonna lie, it's just a beautiful story. A young couple gets together, they make a baby. They don't like each other, they get divorced. They both love the child, and they say, you know what, you're really not that bad of a guy, or you're really not that bad of a woman now that we don't have to live together. And they figure out a way to make it work for the benefit of their child. And then the alienation part. For her first 12 to 13 years of life, never saw her dad, never heard from her dad. And all of a sudden, she steps out on her own, what do you call it? I can't think of the word. She decides to take action for herself. That was the character on Saturday Night Live, Jewish Mother. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Found her dad's phone number. Dad was smart enough to put it out there. Daenery and your sister, if you ever see this, here's my phone number. That's brilliant. The kids used to have their phones taken away. It drove me bonkers. I used to have to smuggle phones. We hid phones out in the green belt, as the kids called it. Wasn't fun, but at least we got to talk to each other. And it's a real shame because what her mother despised about her father, which she didn't go into detail, and it doesn't really matter. The point is, her mom obviously didn't like her dad, told her a bunch of lies, and look what happened. It backfired. And it's a shame. But anyway, Daenery, thank you for sending that. That was very touching, and I appreciate it. Oh, okay, let me get to some emails here. That email's beautifully written. Please tell me you're keeping in touch with her. I wish I could explain more about my life. I just don't know how to open up. What can I do? We're just here to talk. Hey, Caleb, I linked into Ed. Badass So Funny. I'm not sure what that means. Lucky Lapin. Hey Caleb, been a big fan for a while now. Are you aware of the fan subreddit for your channel? Reddit. Oh yeah, on Reddit. Yeah, I've never been a Reddit person, but yeah, I'm aware of it. I've looked at it a little bit, and I know it's there, but I never participate. He's a comedian on YouTube and he's so funny. Okay, well, my link is in the description. Okay, the cool thing about, at least on the lives, well, you do a live stream when you hit 299,000. I've already hit 299,000. I'm kind of thinking it'd be pretty cool to hit 300,000 as we're speaking right now. Where are we at? Comments keep going away. Are you going to start a Harry Potter podcast? Yes, I've mentioned that just before I got into all this. Part of the reason is I've not done it is 300,000. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Part of the reason is I'm nervous because, like I've said, my love for Harry Potter is an A+. My knowledge of Harry Potter, however, is a D- at best. And I want to soak up a little more. I also want to not be broadcasting from my cell phone because I have a feeling it's probably going to go a while. Caleb, do you like wrestling? Not particularly. I have a feeling it's going to go for a while. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it only lasts 20, 30 minutes, but Shawanda P. Dobby loves Caleb Leverett. I hope so, but he's dead. Anyway, if it does go for a long time, I don't know if my phone will hold up. To be quite honest, if it does go for like 2 hours, I really don't want to be sitting in this little car for 2 hours. Let's see, do you have a favorite cop? No? No, I can't say that I have a favorite cop. I'm sure Caleb will get a talk show. Maybe. Maybe this will turn into my talk show. I'm happy to be starting, not from scratch, because I've already got a pretty big audience, but as far as equipment and history, yeah, I'm starting from scratch. Do you like shows involving police? No, I do not. It keeps changing colors. What does? Oh, there's a stoplight. Or there's a, not a stoplight, there's a billboard. I'm at the Popeyes chicken parking lot because where I live, I've got almost no Wi-Fi. And it's changing colors because they're advertising there. I really wish the stinking comments would quit disappearing. Just kidding, I know that's not a word. Okay, Shawanda, I will send an email later. Thank you. All of my links are in the description. Oh, speaking of, I almost forgot. If you look in the description right now, it's my same normal links where you can chip in, but at the very bottom I added an extra one, and it is called ohmygaia.com. And Oh My Gaia is a small company started by a friend of mine named Wendy. And Wendy lives in Idaho. And we have been Facebook friends, God, since forever. We've never met in person, but we're just old friends. I haven't talked to her in a long time, probably 6 months, maybe a year. But it doesn't matter. I mean, we're buddies. That's what good friends do. You don't have to see each other every day. She's got her boyfriend or whatever, and they do their thing, and I've been doing my thing. If our paths cross, then we're friends. And so this is a little bit of an experiment. My little podcast usually gets, I don't know, somewhere between 1,800 and 2,500 hits while I'm live. And I've only been doing this for a week, so average, they're about 4,000 or 5,000 views. As far as podcasts go, that's not very much. Overall, yeah, it's not bad. I'm satisfied with it. So what I would like to try, if you follow me, and if you're watching this, you obviously do. Everybody buys deodorant. At least I hope you do, because if you don't, that's gross. Oh My Gaia is the company she started, and she makes like deodorants out of all natural essential oils and flavors. She's got other products, but the only thing I buy from her is the some people call it pit deodorant, underarm deodorant. And the two flavors that I like are leather and lumberjack. And she's got all kinds of flavors. And every time I order something, she always sends me these little samples of them. And every time I always have a big order, because that way I've got enough to last me for 6 months. But she sends these little sticks, because some people don't like to put they use these little sticks and they put it on it. I'm a mechanic. Slob it on there. I love it. Smell like a leather house. And in this kind of heat, I need it as much help as I can get. So here's my experiment to see if I have any kind of reach whatsoever. Yes, this is towards the end of the podcast. A lot of people don't finish them all the way through, but we'll see. Maybe. If you are so inclined, the link is in the description. Check her out. And the next time you go to the grocery store, if you're normally going to get deodorant with all, from the big companies, just consider buying a sample or buying from her. And at checkout, just say, Caleb sent me, or I heard Caleb talk about you on his podcast, or the Notorious Dad. She knows me well enough. She'll know who you're talking about. And again, she doesn't know I'm doing this. I rarely say, I don't even hardly get on Facebook anymore. But what little I have been, I say I'm doing my podcast, but I don't give links or anything like that. So she probably has no idea I'm doing this, and she's certainly not paying me to do this. But if it'll help her in her business, I think that's totally cool, because that's how radio works and podcasting works. So anyway, I'm going to get back to some more comments. There she is, Do you go by Day? Is that how you? Because your Facebook says Daenery. Sorry for butchering that. Have you ever been to Bolivia? I have not. I'd love to go if I could ever get my passport. I have a favorite TV show. Yes, I've got several of them. Dexter being one of them. Obviously Harry Potter, but that's not exactly a TV show. That's a movie. I like Game of Thrones. Leather flavored deodorant. Yep, believe it or not, and all other kinds. She's got a whole bunch of them. Plus, it's not just deodorant she's got lots of different products. I just only buy the deodorant. Oh, I really like how you help out people and your friends while you are in this position you're in right now. Well, thank you. Don't look at my profile picture. What's my favorite food? Not sugar, not pastries, fruits, vegetables, as much all natural as I can get. I just saw a head peeking. No kidding. Somebody's creeping behind me. Good thing I've got my pistol on me. That is kind of creepy. Thanks for the heads up, though. Yo, dude, there's somebody behind your car. I guess someone was like, what do you call it? Crashing my podcast. Thanks for the heads up, though, man. I appreciate that. I'm not dead. I like the cop that said, Parker, you are free to go with your dad. That was so great. Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah, Officer Brandon Spinks, Odessa Police Department. As far as cops go, he's probably one of my favorite. Him and Officer Rocha. Are you going to leave the Conroe area anytime soon? Not that I have any immediate plans. I just moved here. Could you promote your podcast channel from this channel? This is it, man. This is what I'm calling my podcast. I'll send an email later, okay? I did get a voicemail today. Some reporter, and I couldn't quite understand what she was saying. She's some reporter on the East Coast wanting to do an interview with me and Parker, and I haven't called her back, and I don't really plan on calling her back because she was acting like this was like news, like all new. That's like, no, this is old. I'm not going to talk about all that. I'll talk about my podcast though if she wants to talk about that. So maybe I will give her a call. If y'all want to plug me anywhere, if y'all know anybody, any ideas how I could expand this, because again, I'm new to all this. Okay, not going to read that. Who is the person with the deodorant? It's in the description. It's called ohmygaia.com. ohmygaia.com. They're lying, Caleb. I don't know who's lying. About someone in the back? I don't know. You never know. Tex Rose 956, thanks for giving us hope. No matter where we are in life, karma is real. What you put out there comes back threefold. Well, thank you. Why can't you get your crap corrected? Ken Paxton is going away for a minute. I don't know. I wish. This is driving me bonkers. I've lost a girlfriend over it. She lives in England and I can't even go see her. Follow Kayla on Instagram as well. Yes, I do check my Instagram. And I do check my messages on Instagram. Also on Instagram and Facebook, a lot of if I'm not like following you or Facebook friends or whatever, it goes to the spam folder. And it's nothing personal. But I've found the spam folders on both apps. So if emailing's not your thing and you send me a message there, I've been pretty good here lately about checking my messages in the spam folders in both Instagram and in Messenger or via Facebook. I need a good cowboy. Stay away from cowboys. Do you have a least favorite town in your state? Not really. I guess Odessa, my hometown. Wow, that is really bright, fella. Thank you. Day, I love you, Caleb. Thank you for what you do, giving people hope and advice. I hope my story helps at least one person out there. I do too. I most certainly do too. Try Twitch. I'll, I will. I've looked at it, but I'm just one of those people. If it's new, I'm always resisted. I don't know why, but I may try Twitch. The boys talk about it, particularly Hayden. He's told me about Twitch a lot. What kind of pistol do I have? I'm going to let you guess because I don't want to get a mark on my channel. Okay, can't read that. Okay, let's go scrolly to the very bottom. How's the police in your town? So far, I've not been pulled over since I've been here. I don't know if it has to do with the shutdown. I thought you were a cowboy. No, I'm a hick. I've got a cowboy accent. I live on 7 acres now. I enjoy riding horses, but I'm not a horseman. Parker's a cowboy, though. He's like full hardcore cowboy. Like wears his spurs everywhere. I look like Robin Williams. Nice! I've never been told that. I wish I was as funny as Robin Williams. Okay. Okay, Shawanda, you're flattering me. Stop it. You're going to make me blush. Okay, we're coming up on 42 minutes now. I don't know if I've ever gone this long. But I got the air. I'm in my little car, so the air conditioner. My phone is getting warm, but it's not as bad as it was. No, he's not. Thank God. My name is not Shawanda. I'm just going by what your profile says. If I run into any idiots lately, daily. Ran into one today. I clearly advertise only Saturday. And this family pulls up and they holler at me. And I'm like, oh gosh. They said, well, we're from Houston. We just want to come look real quick. And I said, I'm not even fully set up. And I thought, what the hell? They come in and these 4 little kids come out, which is cool because I had 4 little kids. They're aged like 5 to 11. Group just like mine were, and oh my God, they didn't teach these children anything. They just start fingering everything I've got laid out. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, I've got this nice $4,000 bed I'm trying to sell. I've kept it clean the whole year and a half I've had it. I just washed the $250 mattress protector, had it perfectly white, and they just start touching everything, and I'm like, I would choke my children if they acted like that. Just kidding. I'm not a parent, but still. Who lets their kids act like that? Good grief. Do I watch a lot of horror movies? Some. Horror's not particularly my favorite. Like Human Centipede, no. I will not watch that. That's just disgusting. But like Haunting, the House of Haunting Hill, whatever it's called. Been a while. I like that. Bates Motel, that was actually really good. It started out slow, but it's good. Why don't you stream on your own laptop? Because I can't. That's part of the reason. It's a long story. I'm not even gonna bore you with it. It's an old laptop, and I don't have the right stuff, and I just can't. I like slapstick comedy. Yeah, I do too. You think think beating kids, especially when they're young, is a good form of parenting. No, I do not. I joke about choking my children when they act like little shits, or flushing them down the potty, but they know I'm just joking. I'd never say that with, being serious. I should watch Hereditary. Okay, thanks. Duly noted. You only need OBS though. Okay, I'm not going to try to solve my computer problems just right now. But thank you. I can't think about that right now. I'll get it. Let me get through the sale of everything. I'm going to upgrade everything, assuming my channel keeps going, assuming I keep getting people chipping in, etc. Caleb, you're a good dad. I've seen videos. In my opinion, you did a good job. Well, Red Dragon, well, thank you. How old is Parker at the moment? He's 21. Okay, promote my Instagram. It's just my Instagram. All of my stuff is just my name, Caleb Leverett. Anything you want to find about me, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Cash App, PayPal, it's Caleb Leverett. It's in that and everything's. Most of my links are in the description of this video and pretty much everything I've been doing my lives the last week. Yes, thank you. All right, it looks like I'm gonna wrap this up. Thanks so much for everybody who wrote me your emails. Y'all check out ohmygaia.com just as an experiment. Maybe it'll get her some business. Maybe she's already gone full time. I really don't know. I haven't talked to her, but I think it'd be really cool if she got a bunch of orders and they said, "Hey, the Notorious Dad sent me," because she'd know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, well, y'all take care, and thanks for chipping in, and thanks for spreading this around. There's a little bell you can click on to get notifications. I will be in the future, hopefully, get upgraded where I'm not doing the world's cheapest podcast ever by broadcasting in the parking lot of the Popeyes Chicken via my cell phone. So, y'all take care. Don't hit your kids. And I'll see y'all on the flip side. Probably not going to go live tomorrow because I'm going to be selling my stuff and I'm going to be wiped out. But getting Wi-Fi installed next week, I believe. So kind of excited about that. Anyway, yes, 300,000. Did we make it? 300,000? Really? Did we make it? I can't tell from on my end. Did we make 300,000 subs? Or can y'all tell? It'd be so loud to go live during my sale. Man, I can do certain multitask, but there's no way I could handle money and read comments and go live. Still at $2.99. Well, crud. Well, we tried. I don't know. I think maybe by tomorrow. I got a little disheartened the other day. It dropped 300 subs in an hour, but we made up for it. Anyway, we're really gonna let y'all go. Y'all are so cool. I've enjoyed it. Y'all take care. Ending now.